coming off the OKC game and the Cavs game, like there's some specific improvements that I would like to see going forward that can be very impactful going into the postseason. And I just gotta say, man, OKC is super soft, man. Hiding the whole starting lineup and them miraculously all coming back for the Nuggets game. Yeah, crazy. Two of them was actually hurt. I get that, but the whole starting lineup out? Come on, dog. I'm not gonna say the same thing for the Cavs until their next game, but Spider was out with a groin injury and Harden was out with a fucking thumb injury or a pinky injury. Like I don't know. I've seen two different reports. But that's not what this video is about. I apologize. I'm just butthurt I didn't get to see the Beard play in person. Instead, I had to see sweaty, gassed out Dennis Scrotum play against my Pistons. That's enough yapping. Like I said in the beginning, I just want to talk about some improvements that I want to see with the information that I gathered in their last couple of games. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right, so I want to say this video idea came to my mind when old dude, he tried to block Duncan Robinson's shot and he landed on his ankle, bro. I thought I was watching our season end in real time. He started grabbing his ankle and I started grabbing my chest like, no, this can't be. And then he gets up smiling and walked it off. Like, if you don't get your ass up and make some more threes. Anyways, that sequence right there just got me thinking, like, what is the game plan if Duncan Robinson get injured? Nah, I don't want to think like that. I hope Dr. 55 has a long, prosperous career. But for the sake of the Pistons, bro, we need to have a plan B, C, D. And I get it, Duncan Robinson is our most consistent shooter, but at the same time, he's the only one that gets minutes. You know what? Actually, scratch that. Let me replace the word minutes with opportunity. Because over the last 5 games, he shot 2 of 8 against Cleveland, 2 of 9 against OKC, 3-11 against San Antonio. His best performance going 50%, 5 of 10 against Chicago, and 3 of 6 against New York. Decent numbers, but altogether in those last couple of games, that's 37% from 3. As a Pistons fan, you definitely want to see those numbers go up, but nobody's getting a chance to shoot if Duncan Robinson goes down. We need more 3-point shooters. Now, in terms of prioritized shooters that we have on the bench, we have Sasser, Herter, and Lanier. And technically, we have LeVert, but for some reason, JB want to use him as a ball handler when we should be trying to squeeze all the 3-pointers we can out of him. But back to the prioritized shooters that I named, they do not get the opportunity that Duncan Robinson gets. There have been games where he would go 0 for 8 in the first half and then get some threes to drop in the second half. But for Sasser, he will miss 3 and get subbed out. Herter will miss once and get subbed out. I can't even remember the last time Lanier touched the floor. He will sneeze and JB will sub him out. Point is, you can't expect these guys to get hot come playoff time if something happens to Robinson. Now, with Herter being the newest addition, I thought JB would be the most experimental with him, just to see if he got his bang for his buck with this trade. And man, this is a very small sample size to go off of. 8 minutes against OKC, 0-1. Against Toronto, I think was the most minutes he ever played. 21 minutes, 9 points, 1 of 3 from deep. 13 minutes against Charlotte, going 0 of 2. And then the Knicks game, where I think is his most efficient game. 8 minutes, 8 points, going 4 from 6 from the field, but 0 of 2 from deep. If given more time to get comfortable with the team, I believe he will be on the same level as Duncan Robinson, but not better. He's already a better defender than Robinson, so I think in his minutes, and if his shooting numbers go up, he will be more valuable in my opinion. Now, Chaz Lanier, I think he's secretly Hooper, like I'm convinced. Over the Pistons' last couple of games, Lanier has only played twice. He has an even less sample size than Herter, and he just got on the team. Chaz played 3 minutes against Toronto, going 0 of 1 from deep. And 6 minutes against New York with 7 points, going 1 of 2 from deep. With his low minutes, I think JB just still look at him as a G League player, which is kind of unfair because other G Leaguers got their shot and not him. Prime example being Dennis Jenkins, who started off getting subbed in like in 5 to 7 minute stretches, and now he's playing 15 minutes in a very reliable backup point guard to Cade. When a guard gets hurt or fouls out, they call up Sasser, not Lanier. And with his low minutes, I can't really make a case for him. He's just not worth talking about any further. Now that brings us to Sasser, who I might spend the most time on. In the last 5 games that he played, he had an unexpected 11 minutes against Cleveland when Cade and Robinson fouled out. And I say unexpected 11 minutes because he had 0 points in the most pivotal moments of a game. I'm not making an excuse for him. I'm just saying he would have been better prepared and better equipped for moments like this if he had more opportunity. Because we all know how dire each possession is in those last few minutes of the fourth and all of the time in overtime. But since now 2 starters fouled out, we have to put in a guy that averaged 2 minutes in the last 5 games. Man, if y'all don't give him more opportunity, I'm sorry, let me continue. Against Chicago, he played 3 minutes with 1-on-1 from 3. Against Toronto, he played 4 minutes with 1-on-1 from the field. He didn't even attempt a 3. But the best sample size, in my opinion, is against the Wizards. Sasser played 14 minutes, 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Honestly, looking like Duncan Robinson numbers, but with less minutes. And I feel like that's something that should be explored more. Now, lastly, I do want to talk about Karis LeVert. He's a good player, not great, and I think it's because he's being misused. For some strange reason, when Robinson and Cade get subbed out, LeVert and Jenkins take their place, but LeVert be the main ball handler. I thought Jenkins was the backup point guard. Strange. He's not a great ball handler. Over the last 5 games, he averaged 2.2 turnovers. Jenkins is only averaging 1, meaning the ball is more protected in his hands rather than LeVert. Now I want to talk about shooting numbers because LeVert's volume is not as high as Robinson's, and it got me thinking, what would they look like if he wasn't a ball handler? So skipping the Cleveland game because he didn't even attempt a 3 there. He went 1 of 2 against OKC, 1 of 3 against San Antonio, 1 of 2 against Chicago, 2 of 3 against New York, 3 of 4 against Toronto. That's 54% from 3 in his last 5 games as a shitty ball handler. Now, like I said, his volume is way less than Robinson's, and that's because his job is to strictly shoot 3s. If that responsibility went to LeVert instead of ball handling, I strongly believe with a higher volume, his numbers will surpass Robinson. That's just some food for thought. If you guys found this video informative, hit that like button, and don't forget to tickle the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.